Okay, hey, what's up, guys? So I know I haven't uploaded in a couple weeks, but I thought I would do something that I'm I won't say passionate about, but I will say that it's a big topic for me because I love Call of Duty. You guys know I love first-person shooters in general, like Halo, Counter-Strike, Battlefield, games like that. And Call of Duty is no different. So today I'm going to be talking about World War II and how I just don't like it. So I already made that video about problems with World War II, and I still stand by those. Some of them were fixed, some of them still exist in the game, unfortunately. But I decided to download Infinite Warfare the other day, and I know it was crazy. I thought I would be done with jetpacks after Black Ops 3. I skipped Advanced Warfare because I just wasn't down with the idea. Black Ops 2 is actually a good game. Treyarch make good games in general. I love Black Ops 1, love Black Ops 2. Black Ops 3, I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. It was a good Call of Duty, just not my favorite. And then with Infinite Warfare, I didn't buy it for Infinite Warfare. I bought it just for Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered because COD 4 is one of my favorite games of all time, and I had to. Now, I had a lot of fun on COD 4. I put almost 12 days into that game. It wasn't anything crazy, but I did get the game late because I didn't want to buy Infinite Warfare. I just found like a used copy on eBay for $26 with Modern Warfare Remastered included. I think it was called the Legacy Edition. So I was like, why not? All my friends are playing it. I'll just jump on with them. And I had a blast with COD 4 Remastered. I wasn't down with the supply drops, but regardless, the gameplay was there. It reminded me of the old days, and that's all I really wanted anyway. I think the kit additions, camo additions, all that were great. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about how I think Infinite Warfare is a better game than World War II. For starters, the first thing I noticed in my Infinite Warfare game is the hit registration. Now, I usually play on a laggy connection, but to fully test this, I finally fixed the Ethernet in my house to have it be able to run an Ethernet cable into my Xbox. I used to just play Wi-Fi when I'm back home. When I'm back at my apartment, I do have an Ethernet cable, so everything's fine. But when the hit registration in Infinite Warfare, absolutely crazy. And on top of that, with World War II, even when I played on this 600 up, 400 down connection with 20 milliseconds latency, my shots wouldn't even touch anybody. And then when I'd watch a kill cam, person would just melt me, and it wouldn't make any sense. It was this if I was shooting like a Nerf gun at them. So that's one big thing I really dislike about World War II. And honestly, that would have been fine if it was fixed in the first month, but we're on the second month of World War II, and this stuff is happening. Now, I've been playing Call of Duty on release almost every year. I skipped Advanced Warfare, as you guys know, and I got Infinite Warfare / COD 4 Remastered late, so I won't speak about those. But every Call of Duty, but I do know those had problems. Every Call of Duty, they have their first problems in the first month, maybe less than that, maybe first couple weeks, but they get ironed out and fixed. Unfortunately, with World War II, I don't know what the deal is because these problems still exist in this game. The experience and rewards still broken. Somebody just posted on the Call of Duty World War II subreddit the other day that the epic and heroic variants, don't work as intended. And what I mean by that is that the 15% experience that you're supposed to get with the kills doesn't actually get added in. It's more like an epic weapon. On top of that, spawn delay, huge problem still in this game. You can play around a search and destroy, not even spawn in. You can't even play around a search and destroy. You pretty much just watch people, and then maybe you'll have a chance to spawn in the next game. Or if you just join a TDM, you're gonna be sitting there for a minute, and that's happened to me so many times. The campaign was lackluster, very boring, to be honest. I had a lot of fun with. I don't usually play campaigns, but I decided to try out World War II and Infinite Warfare's just to compare, and I finished Infinite Warfare's, and I had a lot of fun with it. It was really cheesy, but what can you expect out of a Call of Duty campaign? You know what I mean? I had a good time with it. World War II, on the other hand, not fun at all, so I couldn't even finish it. There's a lot of game modes in Infinite Warfare, so there's a lot of stuff to do in general. It's a very smooth game. I think that Infinite Warfare really fixed the advanced movement that Black Ops 3 introduced. AW introduced it, Black Ops 3 kind of made it better, and then I think Infinite Warfare made it perfect. The perk systems, just like in the previous CODs, I really liked Infinite Warfare's. I really do not like Divisions. I thought I would, and I think I did say in my last video that I would like the Division system, but Honestly, the games get so boring and stale. Everybody's pretty much running the same kinds of classes, using the same guns. There's no difference, and there's no variance. In every other Call of Duty, you always have somebody doing something really different. You know what I mean? Like, you can have fun with any gun and do well. This Call of Duty, it's like you have to run a certain loadout on a certain map, and then maybe you'll do well if your shots are actually registering. But for a lot of the times, I could go games where I'm like 25-3, okay? Then the next game, I'm going 10 and like 13 in the same exact lobby with the same exact people. So I don't know what's changing there. I'm sure it's a server change, but that shouldn't be happening. On top of that, like I said with maps earlier, there's only 9 in this game, and I know a lot of people will say, oh, 12 maps in total. Yeah, War is fun, and there's 3 maps with War, but it gets boring fast. I can only play so many games of War before I'm just like, all right, I get it. Like, I think Battlefield does a way better job of having a system like that, and that's what games are like Battlefield are for, not what Call of Duty is for. So I'm just gonna say 9 maps, and then 10 if you have Carrington, but Carrington's a remake. You only get that with a season pass. So yeah, and on top of that, these maps are really small, 3-lane oriented, really boring, really stale. Every gunfight happens in the same exact places. Literally, with the guns, it's just like with the maps. There's no variance. Everyone goes to the same place, gets shot. And now that happens in a lot of Call of Duties where there's hotspots, but there's like always random engagements. But this one, you know where people are gonna show up, you know where people are gonna end up, and you know where you're gonna get an easy kill or two. So yeah, maps, really bad idea for them to release 9 multiplayer maps. And if they want to say that, hey, they released 12, well, why can't we play the other 3 in other game modes, or why can't we play the other 9 in the war game modes? See, it doesn't make sense. Graphics, this one's very subjective. I think Infinite Warfare's graphics are really, really good. And Call of Duty's World War II's, they're not bad, but I don't like the tones. It's just gray and brown, and I get it, World War II is really a dark time in history. It's really brutal, gritty, but it's just so, there's not like much life into them. And what I mean by life is that the color schemes, they're the same on every map. They're like grayed out, faded out, brown, like I said. It's just not fun to play on them. And those maps are all pretty much the same in design, like I said, with that 3 lanes. So whatever, I'm done with talking about that. We all know we hate the maps, or we dislike most of them. I honestly only really like Ardennes Forest, and that's just because you can kind of maneuver around the map. Usually the other maps, you kind of get stuck on a spot and just literally just battle for mid. But in other Call of Duty games, you could go anywhere and take control. So I think the best Call of Duty, like their perk system, was Ghosts, actually. A lot of people didn't like Ghosts. I didn't mind Ghosts. Public matches were terrible, but like private matches were a lot of fun, like game battles and stuff like that. So, but the maps were really big in that game, but it didn't matter because the perk system was fantastic. I think it was like a tier system and point system, and I wish we would do that again. I mean, it was kind of complicated, so I think games like Black Ops 3 and Infinite Warfare did it well. But with this division system in World War II, I'm not a fan of it anymore. Try to give it some time. And to let you guys know, I'm 6 prestige in this game. I have 6 days played on World War II, and I'm just burnt out. And a lot of people will say, well, you played a lot. Well, I play a lot because I would have friends on. This game, I can't just go online by myself like every other Call of Duty or Halo or Battlefield. Like in those games, I can jump online by myself and have a good time. And but this game, I go online by myself. I play 2 or 3 games max, and then I'm just like, all right, I'm done. And then if one of my friends gets on, I'll play some more. If they don't, I don't touch the game until then. So it's not a rewarding game. It's not really, it doesn't keep you interested, is what I'm trying to get at. And on top of that, with the reward system, like I said earlier with the experience, so you get supply drops, right? Why, this is an Activision thing, so I don't blame Sledgehammer for this, but I do blame Sledgehammer for not taking a stand on it. Why can't you buy everything from the Quartermaster? You can't get heroics, and you can't get certain epics from the Quartermaster. So all I've been getting really is so many duplicates, and I have 50,000 armory credits saved up, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to purchase COD points. I will not give into that micro transaction business. And I know people will say, well, if you don't want to grind or pay for them, then don't expect to get that stuff. But I mean, you pay $60 for this game, you kind of want to have like the cool variants or the cool camos and stuff like that. And it just sucks to just not be able to have a good chance at getting them or be able to purchase them from your gameplay. You know what I mean? Like, I think you should be able to buy everything that you want from the gameplay, not from the in-game currency, not from out like real money. So I know that's just going to be an opinion thing right there, but I do think that is a big point for me on this game. Be a big point taken away, because in Modern Warfare Remastered and Infinite Warfare, if you're missing a kit or a gun or a camo, you can just go on and just buy them with the in-game currency. But on this game, if it's not in the Quartermaster or Collections database, you're not going to get it. So yeah, guys, I think Infinite Warfare didn't deserve the hate it received. I know a lot of people didn't want an advanced movement game for the third time, and I was one of them. But after playing it, I take back what I said. I think it's a great game. Honestly, if it didn't have the Call of Duty title under it or above it, I think it would have been one of the best shooters of 2016/2017, and it deserves praise, I think. Now, a lot of people won't like advanced movement. That's fine. You won't like Infinite Warfare, but it did not deserve the hate. World War II, on the other hand, everyone just bought into the hype of boots on the ground is back, we're ready for this, blah, blah, blah. But it doesn't mean anything because it was shallow. That hype was shallow. There was no depth to it. What you see is what you get. And other Call of Duties, you can just jump in and play on for hours. I don't know if it's me getting older, but I still play games for a long time. One of them is Fortnite. Like, I can play that. The other night, I played with one of my friends. Played 4 hours straight, and I couldn't believe it when we were done with it. So, again, I really want World War II to get better. I really want to like that game. I think it will eventually, but at this 2-month mark, it's taken way too long. And no Call of Duty has done that so far. Usually, like I said, they fix that stuff within the first month or less. This one, it's at 2 months, and still we have these problems. So I don't want to blame developers, because I heard that Activision canceled Advanced Warfare 2 from happening, and they were like a year or two into the process of making it. So they kind of had to make World War II out of nothing, and with so little time. So I don't really blame Sledgehammer for this, but I do blame them for the current issues we have, like the servers, the hit registration, the divisions. I don't know what they were thinking with that. Everything else, I think the developers don't deserve hate. I think if you want to put blame on somebody, blame people at Activision, you know, the people who are overseeing all this stuff, the management team, the marketing team, blame them. And then same thing for Sledgehammer. Don't blame the developers, blame the people who are like overlooking this entire department, because at the end of the day, it's their decisions that are the final say. And the developers, they want to make a great game. They want to make, like, because at the end of the day, video games are kind of like an art form, and you can't really put your art out there if somebody is telling you to do something different or not to do something at all. And I think that's what Activision and the heads at Sledgehammer were doing. So again, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys, if you guys have any arguments or disagreements or comments or agreements, whatever, put them in the comments below. I'll reply to all of them for sure. But yeah, thanks guys for watching. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you guys in another video. Thanks.